So what's the future of modding? And when I say that, I mean like big picture for video games, for the gaming industry as a whole. I think what Bethesda just did with Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition is really going to be a pioneering action. They're going to start setting the precedent for what other companies are going to be slowly begin to follow. And by that, I mean actually including mods for video games on consoles. So there's been a trend in gaming that we're also starting to see rise up, and I think the combination of Bethesda's trend and these other trends are going to really create an awesome future for us as gamers. So what do I mean by this? Well, basically we've been seeing the resurgence of kind of free content. I think companies are starting to realize that free content or periodic free content does have an innate power to it. It's driving sales because the interest in video games is being maintained for much longer than it previously was. So what are some examples of this? Well, first and foremost, the most obvious one is Battlefield 4. The lifespan of Battlefield 4 was extended dramatically due to the work by DICE LA. If you don't know, they released a number of free map packs and just made some different changes to the game, and again, all this was DLC, but it was free. As a result of this, DICE and EA started collecting noticeably more revenue from the Battlefield franchise after they already thought the game was dead. This was almost 2 years after the game's initial release. All the DLC had been out, all the premium content was done, but then they were like, hey, let's start making some new things. They released patches, it was pretty regular, and honestly, it was awesome. It was really a win-win situation. A lot of people that kind of maybe brushed off the game initially were now getting into it. People that just missed the initial release were now buying the game. And again, the users were happy because they were getting free content, and DICE and EA were happy because they were getting more sales. So that's actually not it. There's another major game company that also took advantage of this, although not as well known, and that's going to be Ubisoft and Rainbow Six Siege. I'm actually one of the people that did take an interest in Rainbow Six Siege due to some of the free content. I didn't buy the game at release because it had some issues, or I don't really remember why, but I actually bought it one of the free weekends when it was on 50% off. And that has slowly developed into a game I play regularly, large in part due to a lot of the free content. They release updates every now and again, and I'm like, hey, that sounds interesting. Let me go jump on the game again and play for a few hours this weekend. Well, now Ubisoft, I think realizing this, has just made an announcement that it does plan to start making more and more DLC free. It doesn't really want to go for the premium model anymore because although those may have made a lot of money instantly, the long term really wasn't there. People bought the premium pack on release along with the base game. They made a quick $110, but then over the following years, the game slowly died down into nothingness. This is more or less what we've been seeing for a long time, except for those special few games that really held a place in our hearts and people played over the long term, but those are rare and far and few between. Well, now that we see that trend evolving and more companies realizing, hey, the whole free content model is actually starting to make a lot more sense now, well, at the same time, across the river, Bethesda is starting to pioneer modding on consoles. The Fallout 4 console modding release was a shit show. I think that is not a good example to look at, but if you look at the Skyrim example, it is a icon for how modding can be done successfully. Bethesda did minimal work into remastering a new game, and although yes, it is a better platform and there's all these changes, at the end of the day, I can't imagine it took that much money or effort to actually make Skyrim Special Edition. The base game really just doesn't have that much there. It is, again, a much better platform for modding, which is why I think so many people bought it and why it's so popular. On top of that, obviously, it's bringing mods to the consoles. In the first 2 weeks of that being out, over 2,000 mods were ported over to consoles, which is absolutely insane. Even some PS4 mods with such restrictions are getting kind of crazy mods and good mods worth a download. So now if we look at these two things and put them together, I think moving forward, and by moving forward, I mean over the next 2 to 3 years, maybe 2 E3s away from now, because that's the kind of the development cycle that games will follow, we're going to start seeing more and more games being like, hey, maybe this whole modding thing isn't a bad idea. It's offering free content to the users with really no major input from the company. They obviously have to create the game as a moddable and set up a good platform for distribution, but then you have a constant stream of mods as long as the community provides them that will probably keep users interested and paying for new versions of your game. I think this is going to be an awesome thing, again, because we're getting a lot of free content for both the users, the companies are making money, and I think people are just a lot happier with this system rather than paid DLCs every month after release. I think the one big game that we have to look out for to get modding on consoles is going to be Minecraft. Minecraft has a huge modding scene for PC, and I think there's a ton of people that would jump to consoles, either buy Minecraft or buy one of the texture packs if modding does get ported over. And I have to guess or imagine that Microsoft's looking at what's going on with Bethesda and Ubisoft and DICE and thinking this is going to be something they want to do in maybe the next few years. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. I just want to talk a little bit about what the modding scene is doing, at least in my eyes, going forward. Obviously, my channel is pretty much dedicated solely to mods mods for video games. So this is going to probably be where my channel heads in the future as well, and it's looking like a very bright future.